Hey, what's up dingoes? This is Juan Dingo and I'm just here with an MKX video for you guys. I'm just going to be going over some of the stuff that was leaked out in the recent trailer for MKX. And on this video I'm going to be covering some of the towers, which are going to be offline, and there's going to be online towers too. So to start out, I'm going to go over the offline towers, which are kind of going to be asynchronous, because as you can see in the lower left, there's standing, so there's going to be leaderboards for the towers. So the first one is Novice, and it's five characters you have to get through, and the AI is probably pretty easy, and it just gets increasingly difficult as you go up. The second and third one are Warrior and Champion, and if you've played some of the old MKs, then you know that they've always had kind of like three towers: the Novice, Warrior, and Champion. Like Novice will be 5 fights, then Warrior will be like 8, and then Champion will be about 12, and they just get harder as you go. So those are pretty, there's nothing new there, but it's cool that they brought those back. The next one is Test Your Luck. They are bringing this from MK9. Test Your Luck was a mode where you would go in, you'd like kind of hit this this machine where it'd give you random like tweaks to the gameplay, where like you'd have no head and there's no jumping, and they would do a match like that. But in MK9 it was a single match. After you were done, it would kind of put you back to the main screen and you'd have to keep going. This seems like it's going to be a whole tower that's kind of set up like that. Like say it's 8 fights in a tower, and then every one will have random tweaks to the gameplay, which I think is really fun. The next one is Test Your Might. That one's a little curious to me, because is it just like a tower of just Test Your Might minigames all day? I don't know. The next two are probably my most anticipated towers. The first one is Endless. And Endless, this sounds like what they were doing in the older MKs. There's a mode called Endurance mode, where it was basically a tower, but it never ended. So you would keep going on these fights, and your health and everything, after, nothing changes from fight to fight except for, the difficulty of your opponent, and you just try to climb that tower and get as high as you can. So that was always a really great idea from the old MKs. I just wasn't a huge fan of the 3D MKs, except for maybe MK4. But I'm actually pretty glad they're bringing that back, because especially with the leaderboards and stuff, so you can kind of have bragging rights if you get really high on the Endless. And then the last one is Survivor, and I'm thinking this will be a lot like Survivor mode on Injustice, where you'll probably have like a tower that's like 8 characters, and if you get damage dealt to you in a fight, you go to the next fight with keeping that damage. So you'll go into the next fight with not a full health. There'll probably be things like little challenges mid-game to kind of give you a health boost at the end of the match. I don't know. So basically this kind of looks like something similar to what Battles mode is in Injustice, which is pretty cool, because MK9, I really like that game, but as far as like staying power, really all it had for that is online, and I'm glad to see them thinking of kind of like an offline, the people who like to play offline and practice and stuff. Seems to be there's going to be a lot of offerings for those type of people. Alright, next is the online towers, which this is pretty exciting. I think this is going to be more like the challenge tower from MK9, the one that was like 300 fights, but it was all like kind of stuck you with a character and gave you challenges. This seems like it's going to be a little more optimal than that, because you're not, I don't know if you're stuck with a certain character, but it looks like there's daily, there's quick, which is probably just something you can go and do anytime. There's daily, which is probably going to be like a set challenge for the day, and then premiere, That's probably like a huge 1 month challenge, so it's probably going to be closer to like your MK9's 300 thing, something you have to kind of power throughout the whole month, which is pretty exciting. On this it says that every time for each one is 6 days 23 hours. That's probably, that's probably a little glitch or something, which actually the premier one is probably for a week. It probably gives you a weekly challenge to kind of power throughout the week. And on the lower left you can kind of see the same as the offline towers, kind of an asynchronous multiplayer aspect to it. It has your best score and then your standing. That's all I have for now on these towers. I'm going to be making another video going over kind of the clans you can join when you first start up the game. So make sure to check that out. And alright guys, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.